Hello, welcome to another Alpha Strike We Play video, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the new Hunt for the Prometheus.
Yes.
Dystopian Wars.
Dystopian Wars. Warcradle Studios.
So
Let's do this.
I've been waiting for this. Let's take a look. Alright, okay Tarron, so let's unbox this one. You've got the knife there.
I have the knife of destruction.
There we are.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Just get started on that. We didn't even need it.
I didn't even need it. There's less of me cutting things on screen is probably a good thing, I reckon.
Now, for those of you who remember a company called Spartan Games, we're going back a bit now. They actually had this sort of thing. Okay, this was actually picked up by Warcradle Studio.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened with Spartan Games. Okay, they were a UK company, and Warcradle Studios also a UK company. So they may have, I don't know, had some dealings or something.
I do remember this style of game back in the day. I thought it had faded away.
It was but it was popular because it was quite different to other things that were on the market as well. The quality of the castings were very good. That was pretty much in the resin. They didn't really work on the plastics, the hard plastics that we see. But yeah, because I think they did it all in-house, so the quality and everything was really good. What's happened is Warcradle Studio has taken over the license. They own it, things like that. They have what they call the Dystopian Age, which is all of their games that sort of work together and they're putting everything. So we played Wild West Exodus.
Oh yeah,
yep.
That's the same guys.
Yep.
Wild West.
Yep.
Exodus.
So they acquired that from another company. It was actually Battle Foam. They actually did Wild West Exodus, and they got that. So, but it's all in the same thing. So the factions that are in this are also mentioned in that, and it all comes under the Dystopian Age. So there's more different things to come, but this is where they're up to now.
Can I get werewolves on ships then? That could be fun.
Well, I mean, what's it for Wild West Exodus? They got the nation, so they have spirit wolves. It's not really werewolves, is it? But it's close enough.
It's close enough.
It's really cool.
Let's do it.
So this is their 2-player starter box, the Hunt for the Prometheus. It has 2 factions in there, the Enlightened and the Commonwealth. So the Enlightened, which are also mentioned quite a lot in the Wild West Exodus, they're like scientists and things like that, who they're all over the world and they all work together. They're trying to protect the growth of science and technology and things like that, but as you can imagine, they don't really have much of a leash. So they got all these resources and everything, and they say, well, if it's for science, let's sort of do it.
Let's do it.
So they've got big setup and fleets and that sort of thing, and that's one of the factions here. And the Commonwealth is Eastern European bloc, so they're led by a Tsar or Shah, or however you want to say it. It's a different Tsar. Yep. But it's the same sort of thing. But so in here there's a campaign setting, which is looking for the Prometheus. So it's those 2 factions. Yep. But
it's just a 2-player starter, and you get basic rules, and you get all the tokens and cards and junk that you need.
Yep.
And all the models and stuff to play that game.
So I'll just put it here.
That's pretty cool. It's all news to me because I have never actually played this.
Yeah, so I mean there was talk about it. I didn't know I was just waiting. And the Warcradle sent us this copy for us to have a look at. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks, guys.
So we are going to be very honest about it. So, there's no favoritism or whatever, but there's a lot of stuff in there. So some similarities to probably Wild West Exodus. So
which is really good.
That is very good. So
let's have a squeeze because I'm keen to see.
So I will take that. So put that there.
Yeah, I get this. Ooh,
lovely. So just like the Mythos boxes, they have this nice slip cover and everything, and a nice presentation box. Right.
Okay.
So,
wow.
This apparently is going to be the new template that they're doing, and they're going to introduce it to all of their games. So they're going to standardize a template.
Oh, so that's not a snap-off thing.
That does, yeah.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
That snaps
Cool.
off.
That's all right.
These end bits go together, and they're like a turning one. There's another turning one, and that's like your flamers and blast templates and whatever else. So it's a good idea. It's a good idea if you can standardise things across all your games, considering the systems is all the dystopian age.
Yeah, because you get the Wild West Exodus with the Gubbins box, and you get a very similar thing to that.
Yeah.
And these, actually. So that's good. Yeah,
so
standardisation isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, that's quite good.
What's going to be nice and fun for you is that none of these are built. So there you go.
It's quite. Hey, look at that! It's quite clever. Look.
Yeah.
So
somebody actually thought about something for a change.
So they've got these little leg slots.
You look at it.
So as they sit on top of one another and they're not rubbing. I hate that when you get them and they're loose and they pop things out. And if you haven't cut it out right, it takes gouges out of the models and things like that. So
they're all sitting in a nice, neat little stack, all separated, but as compact as possible, which you need when you're boxing stuff up.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that is really good.
Very cool. And there's another, 2, 4, 5. There's another 5 stacks. Because there's quite a few minis in here. There's quite a few models.
So this looks like one of the enlightened ones. So submerged in bits and pieces. So we need to have a really good look through the rules to understand a lot, but
yeah,
I think you can customize the loadouts so that what sort of weapons you want to put on them.
Very
you build
probably
your fleets and whatever else.
Yeah.
So one of this and no
so
more than 2 of those. And
yeah, this is a literal unboxing. We've still got that new game smell in there, so we hadn't
smell it from
looked
here.
at all. So
that's so good. That's really good.
Yeah,
it's such a and the detail is there. The quality is there. Now there should be some resin ones in here as well. Oh, there you go. Look at you go, buddy.
I was going to say that one feels heavy. I'm going to have a look at that. Oh yeah, look, that's one of those torpedo launchers you were telling me about.
The Enlighten, one of their ships has these torpedo launchers that are whales. They put whales in. They must.
Greenpeace is not going to be happy.
There it is. So I don't know how well you can see that there, but that's one in there ready to go. There's some other bits to load on, some side tubes and whatever else, but they load them into these and launch them off. But they
poor whales. They can't catch a break.
No.
This is like a really huge one. I think that's one of their ones as well, actually. I think that's one of the Enlighten. Is the science guys. I think that's one of theirs.
Yeah, let's have a look. It's got a helipad. Should give you an idea of how big it is. Wow, look at that. That's really nice.
Yeah, and they're weighty. The resin is quite heavy.
The thing I love about this scale is that you can just get away with some basic sort of washes and dry brushes. You don't need to do a lot because
you don't have
the
to
detail's
get
so fine. You can just and it looks really good.
Mm.
Wow.
You can put them together and make them look good with very minimal effort. Very minimal effort, and people with low painting abilities will appreciate that. That's one of the ones that's the
oops. I just broke the ship.
You broke it? No, they were in pieces. It's
so this is the Commonwealth one, is it? Their big one?
That must be their big ship. Because I think the other guys had 2.
Yeah.
He had only one. So there you go. So that's their big ship.
It just sits on there. So must be some... must be from the plastic sprues that you...
Yeah, that'll be all the different... So there's a bunch of different weapons and things in here. So that must be the customizing the loadout section of the game. Because they all come with the little peg on them. And you can see in the middle of the circle there, you've got a little hole, so you can go along and you can cut them out, and presumably you'll be able to mix and match what weapons you want with ship.
Ooh.
But yeah, we'll have to have a look at the rules and things and see what you actually do there.
So a lot of people like to magnetize their stuff, but you probably wouldn't need to do that. You could just sit them on there. You wouldn't need to magnetize or glue or anything. You could just swap them.
As long as you remember to take them off when you pick it up.
Yeah, that's
I mean, you could glue the command console
Like this
thing
thing,
and the engine on there.
Yeah.
But the weapons, you wouldn't need to. You really wouldn't.
I don't know. Maybe it has like an engine damage thing. You could
take
it off or something. But I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, that means...
I don't know. That's what counters. There's probably counters in there for that. But that's lovely.
Yeah. See, look, there's some.
Roll. What's that? Ice?
This looks like extra terrain type stuff, but you've also got the little whale torpedoes. That's... Oh my god. It's funny, but it's cruel.
That is cool.
Have a look.
So we got icebergs. That's probably what happened to the Prometheus, you know.
It's quite possible, yes. I wonder if it was its maiden voyage.
We don't do anything on there, so... Gee, that's quite handy. I could imagine a lot of people wanting to do like 3D iceberg things, which you could do for your table.
Yeah, you'll get somebody
good,
doing it. You get that expanding foam stuff. A lot of people use that to make big terrain pieces.
Gee, that's handy. It's kind of cool.
And this, it actually says on the token things, it actually says there, for use with Dystopian Wars, Lost World Exodus, Wild West Exodus, and other dystopian age games.
Nice.
So these condition markers and numbers and things will all flow over into different games.
Well, that's very handy because I could always use some more of those.
Yeah, well that's it.
Keep them all together.
And you were putting yours in like coin carrier things.
Yeah, just little plastic coin cases, just to keep them nice or whatever.
Nice and
then in like
stop them fraying and stuff.
Just go down to Bunnings and they've got little multi-storage plastic thing. Probably for fishing, but you could use them for whatever. I find it very handy for counters and whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's the campaign book for the Hunt for Prometheus.
There we go. So what are we looking at? It's eight pages. Looks like there's... Oh, that's pretty. Little introduction. Story. There's your missions. Play area. So 3x3 or 4x4, depending on how many points you want to play. So that's pretty good. 3x3 areas.
That's pretty easy to set up.
Yeah.
It's only a fairly smallish area, and that's what you want. It's something quick and easy to set up, have a game, pack it all away again.
Yeah.
Or if you're having some sort of big battle thing and doing it over like days and days, it's something that doesn't take up a lot of space.
True.
You can leave it set up.
I think it's play like 5 turns or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, your games probably won't go that long.
And this is your rulebook. Dystopian Wars, Dystopian Age, the rules. And I'm going to point out that you've got a split. There's a little graphic, little art page there. This section is the rules. This section is all fluff. There's all cool stuff, all bits and pieces about the world and factions and all that sort of thing. And this little section here is the rules. So that's cool. I mean, it's compact. It looks fairly easy to learn. I think the Wild West Exodus, our first couple of games, was slow. But I've said this before, when you're learning a game, it's always going to be slow. Don't take your first game of anything. I mean, you're learning to play checkers, it'll take you a little while to pick it up.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Just, you get into it. But so for the first few games, you're probably going to be referring back to the rules fairly regularly. But like I say, that's only a smallish section of rules. They all look fairly well set out.
So you got attributes of a unit. So there's no... I can't see... So there's no instruction guides on how to assemble these in the box. And there's no unit cards in the box. If you go to the website, you can download them.
Okay.
So that's what you do.
So they're like the Wild West ones. They've actually got a card per unit, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Unless
And I think it's a little bit like Mythos. So there's a front side and then there's a back side if it's damaged.
unless they're in there. But I don't think so.
No, I remember them saying something about that. So there you go, fire arcs.
Yeah.
Talks about all that.
So that'll give you general rules for general stuff and movement, attacking, all the various skills and things, and then the actual sheet, the actual card for each given unit will tell you how it uses, manipulates, or breaks those rules. And
There you go.
that's a good system for lots of games. It works quite well.
Bit of history there. It's quite a nice book actually.
Yeah. That's the Wild West one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of fluff and all the rules set out fairly easy to find and read. All nicely arranged.
There's so much that they can do with this as well. They've
That's
barely touched the surface. It's crazy.
Especially if you keep the rules and the cards separate. So your base rules are there. You can always add little extra bits to that in a future generation if you want to, or into a new box. I mean, you could. This is the starter. You could just say, oh well, this is the expanded rules, sort of thing. But you can muck around with the little cards on there and keep it as like a what do they call it, a living rulebook thing.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, but just with cards for the units.
So
Very, very
speaking of
groovy.
cards, what have you got there?
I've got cards that say stuff. Yeah, go for it. Now
Let's open them up.
in Wild West, oh, you want to open them up?
Let's open them up. Yep.
In Wild West, they had little cards, and you had to pick which side of the card. So you have a hand of cards, and then you have to pick which side of that card you wanted to use and what you wanted to use it for. And that was really, I like that. That was cool.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're all the same sort of game type. So it looks like they're continuing that on with these.
So there we go. So they have a victory and a valor side. So if it's like the Wild West Exodus, one side, if you play the card straight away, will give you like a benefit, like a boost.
Yep.
Or some are a little bit harder. The other side will be like you get victory points. And victory points is generally how you win.
Yep.
But yeah, so one side is victory, one side is valor.
Yeah,
That's
so
just so you know.
For instance, we've got Valor on this side is reveal this card and discard it at any time to gain the following. Gain +1 to your speed attribute for the movement phase. But the victory side is achieve the following. So if you manage to do this, then you get victory points. So destroy a mass 1 unit in a shooting attack this turn and score 1 VP when you do so.
Yeah.
And you just pick which side of the card you want to use. So if you fulfill that victory condition, then you go boom.
Boom, and that's it.
And if you need the extra movement, you turn it around and you go boom.
And there's a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot of cards.
There's
There's
a
a lot of
lot.
variety. Yeah, that's cool.
Some of them are quite full on.
So if you have initiative, you can choose to give initiative to your opponent to draw one of these cards from your draw pile.
Yeah.
So if we're talking victory points, that's a good way to get them. Yeah, you might want to, depending on what sort of condition you're in, where your fleets are and stuff. But
I think there were different ways that you get like points where you're allowed to draw cards for various reasons in Wild West. I'm assuming there's the same thing here.
yeah. Well, there's two decks, one for each player. Everyone gets a full deck of 60.
Nice.
So that's your one.
I better hang on to that then.
60 cards. So yeah, that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Now they do have some custom dice. Some people like custom dice, some people don't. As long as you can get more of these custom dice, if you lose some, that's okay. I kind of like dice. Unique
I was going to
dice,
say
different
dice. Just dice. What is it? N+1. These look like some sort of combat dice. And those look like they could have all sorts of things that they're supposed to be doing.
Steering wheel, lightning bolt, arrow. What's this? Whatever that is. and whatever that is.
A symbol that means whatever it
bunch of
means,
stuff.
and a thing that is the thing.
So all of those. And we've got,
Oh, there you go. So
what are they called?
you've got critical damage dice are the ones that are under there at the moment.
Okay, cool.
So you've got...
So what's the skull mask? Oh, we want to go from the top? What's this
I
one?
was going to go from over there.
This one?
Yep. So you've got magazine explosion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Shredded defenses.
Uh-huh.
Sturginium flare. You've got a generator shutdown.
Yeah.
You've got a navigation lock, and you've got a reactor leak.
Oh.
Now, presumably, being called critical damage dice, when you take critical damage on a ship, you'll have to roll a given number of those, would be my guess. And then you have some little action dice. You've got one blank.
Yep, so there's a blank.
Yep, and then you've got a single counter, which is the one shield.
Got a 2 shield.
You've got a heavy counter, which is the 2 shields.
Yeah.
You've got a hit, which is the single explosion. You've got a heavy hit, which is the double explosion. And then you've got an exploding hit, which is the anchor and gear motif for some reason. Exploding hit. I liked the sound of that.
Would that be, do you think that means you get to roll extra dice? You know, exploding dice?
Yeah, I think
terminology.
It does. When making an attack, a roll of an exploding hit counts as 2 hits. In addition, a new action die is rolled and added to the pool.
Whoa!
Wow!
Okay. There's a lot of dice. I mean, there's enough for each. They give you 2 lots, so each player's got quite a few dice to pick from. So,
so you've got a set of action dice and a set of critical damage dice each. And yeah, presumably you are rolling them as you go. So they've got anatomy of a unit card there, and those are the ones that you're going to be able to download to tell you what these actually do. And they'll have traits for how many of each given dice you roll in a given circumstance on the completion of a shot, I guess, is what we're looking at there. But you've got the same sort of thing that they have in the Wild West Exodus. So they have an explanation of all the qualities that the weapons have and all the different like keywords that are going to show up on your cards. And then the card doesn't have to explain things. It just has to say, this one does this, 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 and this. And then you look it up and you go, oh, right, okay, that's what it does.
Okay.
And you can mix and match those then when you're creating new units and things like that. And it means that you don't have to reprint a card with like 700 different things. You just change one key word and boom. And I like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Having a bit of flexibility is good, because I can imagine each sort of faction would have its own little special rules and...
Yeah. And especially if you're going to be doing this as like a full-on dystopian age, you're doing a full selection of games with this core set of mechanics. I mean, there might be gun rules in there that are similar to gun rules in Wild West. I doubt it, because some of these are huge, and in Wild West you're using little pistols and things, but the theory is there.
Yeah. But that is a lot. That's a lot of stuff.
You got some bases there too. I don't
That's
know
for that's for these submerged.
Right.
Put them on a nice base. I like their bases actually.
Nice.
Look like little trophy things.
This is cool. Whichever one of you guys there thought that up,
yeah,
well done you.
Yeah,
You should have done it years ago, but well done you.
And it all sits nice in the box. Everything was well presented. Everything was well packed. There's a lot in here for your money. It's really good.
Yeah, and it's a 2-player starter, but if you've got a bunch of people that want to learn a game, I find getting one of these 2-player starter things and then just splitting the force up between 2, 3, 4 people per side doesn't usually hurt. You're not there to compete in a tournament. You're not there to like do anything by the book. You're learning the rules, and if you're all on the same page and everybody knows what they're doing, then having more than 2 people play it is absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works, especially with this many models. You have one person who's just in charge of the whales.
A whale biologist. They do as he says.
I'm sorry, whales. I'm sorry on their behalf. That's like, okay.
But that's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
I think we're definitely going to have a closer look at this. We've been sort of thinking about which game to branch off to and just sort of have a look at. But this timing of this is actually quite good.
we played the Wild West Exodus, and I love it.
Yeah.
I reckon the Nation are going to kick ass, but I'm keen to give this one a crack, dude. I have to get a game on.
Yeah, so
get building.
We'll have a look, and I'll have a look and build everything up, and we'll see how we go.
Dear. Dystopian Wars, people. Give it a crack.
2 players. I'm sure everyone's got a friend. It's all good.
Not me. don't have friends. It doesn't work out well.
So yeah, I like it. I like it, and I think anyone who sort of was on the fence about it, now that you've sort of had a look at what you get in the box, yeah, I think
give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot because
we're going. We might put some vids up. Leave us a comment if you want to see a game. We're going to play them anyway, but if you want us to video it, let us know.
Yeah. So that's it. So thank you to Warcradle Studios
very
for
much.
this.
Yes.
For giving us the opportunity to have a look at this.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but
many hours of fun.
Thank you.
All good.
See you later.
Bye, guys.